Today I talk about that how can we live in peace and joy while like this situation, especially all over the world, affected with this COVID-19. So because of this situation, it deeply impact, say, humans. The psychological. Also, it creates that lot of fears and the panics in our mind. So that's why I thought to introduce that how we can live the peacefully and how we can overcome the fear and the worry. So this way, so today maybe mainly that I want to introduce the meditation we call the calm abiding meditation. Also in the Sanskrit, it's called the shamatha meditation. Second thing is that it's a very important thing is that because I met many peoples and also they told me that they are meditating few years, some are they meditating more than 5 years, some are more than meditating 10 years. But these old people who are practicing the meditation, one thing they are not very aware with the one thing. They are not knowing themselves that they have reached the which state, which of the mental state they have reached. If you're studying in the school, they will be the one common question everyone will ask you that you are studying in which grade. That is a very common question, which grade? Now, if you're meditating, there is one common question. You have reached the which mental state? So many of the people whom I met and are meditating so many years, they have not aware of it at all. They are not knowing that themselves that they have reached the which mental state. It is something like that. You are studying in the school and you are not knowing that you are studying in which grade. You have reached the which grade. So that's why two reasons, because of the two reasons, two reasons that I thought to start to teach you the shamatha meditation, or you can call it the calm avoiding meditation. That will help you to live. That will help you to live in calm, makes you more calm. And also this meditation, while you're learning this meditation, then you will know that you have reached the which mental state of meditation. So it is something like that. When you're meditating, it's very important to know that you have reached the which mental state. Then you can go further. Then you can achieve the higher realization. Then you can achieve the higher mental state. So also to start with, before the starting the calm avoiding meditation or the shamatha meditation, I just thought to tell you the one story. There was one mother. She lost her son. She was so upset, so sad, very disappointed because of the losing her son. Then she decided to commit a suicide. Lots of her friends told the mother not to take such an extreme step. But the mother told that I cannot live without my son single moment. So I fully committed. I decided to commit the suicide. So lots of her friends tried to prevent her to taking such an extreme step, but all they failed. Then at last, one master came to her place and told her that I can bring your son back from the dead. When the master told her that, she was a bit curious about the master. What? So then she told the master that it's really possible that can you bring my son back from the dead? Master told, yeah, very possible. In case if you can give me the answer for my question, in case if you can find the answer for my question, I can bring your son back from the dead. She was quite happy. Then she told the master, okay, I'm ready. I will try my best to find the answer for your question. Then the master asked the question. That question is that, how can you produce the sound of the clapping with single hand? How can you produce the sound of the clapping with single hand? So master told the mother, if you can find the answer for my question, I will bring your son back from the dead. The mother started to think about the question. Day passed, week passed, month passed, year passed. After the year later, mother came to the master place and told that I could not find the answer for your question. I think so deeply. I think all the time, again and again for your question, but I could not find the answer for your question. The year passed, still I could not find the answer for your question. Then the master laughed and told her that you already find the answer for my question. She was a bit surprised. Master told her that when I came the first time to your place, you told me that you cannot live without your son one single moment. Now you live without your son, you, without any mental pain, without any sadness. That's the secret. When your mind gets distracted with something that, not to think that some unnecessary issues, then you won't have the pain. You are getting scared. You are getting pain. You are having the unhappiness when you are thinking something very unnecessary. You will feel like that's a very helpless, not to think such an unnecessary thing. But in the reality, it is not a helpless. You can distract. your mind to not to think something very unnecessary and useless. So that is the technique that how you can learn is, we call that the calm avoiding meditation or shamatha meditation. Also, this meditation helps you to how to you live in the calm. Okay, that is the one point. The second point is that to achieve the state of shamatha, to achieve the state of calm avoiding state, they are the 9 steps. They are the 9 mental state. That's a very important. You should know the 9 mental state before that. So now I will come back to my point. If you are meditating months or year, you have achieved the which state? You have reached the which mental state? If you are not knowing that you have reached the which mental state, that means you are studying in the school, but you are not aware that you are in the which grade. So that's why. So you have to know that the 9 mental state, we call the 9 mental state for achieving the shamatha. The first 9 mental state, first state we call that the fixing the mind. State of the fixing the mind. State of the fixing the mind is when you try to meditate on the fix your mind on the any object, or when you try to fix your mind on your breathing. That's we call the first state, mental state, fixing the mind. But here one thing you should know, that the fixing the state of the fixing the mind will not achieve immediately, okay? Don't think that if you meditate 1 minute of the concentrating on your breath, or meditating on your breath, don't think that you have achieved the state of the fixing the mind. Fixing the mind, state of the fixing the mind, that is the first mental state, okay? They are the 9 mental states. I will give the example, they will be the 9 grades, okay? 9 grades, think like that's a grade, okay? Class or grade, okay? So fixing the state of the fixing the mind is that when you're meditating, when you're concentrating on your breath, when you can aware or when you can realize that a lot of the distractions or a lot of the excitements comes in your mind, when you can realize that is the time you have achieved the first, the mental state, fixing the mind, state of the fixing the mind. Because you can see there are a lot of people, they try to meditate, they will sit and they close their eyes, they try to concentrate on their breath or the whatever, but they are unaware, they are not realizing that what of the excitement comes in their mind. Sometimes when you're meditating, you will get the distracted, but they are not aware that you are getting the distracted. They just leave. They just sit quietly. They just sit peacefully. In the mind, lot of the distractions. While they're meditating, they get distracted. So the first state is that when you can realize there are a lot of the conceptual thoughts coming in your mind when you are meditating, when you can see that lot of the conceptual thoughts are arising, a lot of the excitements coming into your mind, when you see that the state we call that you have achieved the first state of the fixing the mind. So now when you meditate. Now you look, when you meditate, when you're focusing on the breath, or when you're focusing on statue, when you're trying to concentrate on like a tree or apple, when you're concentrating, when you see the lot of the conceptual thoughts coming into your mind, when you see that you're getting distracted, when you can see that you're getting excitement, then that moments that you have to achieve the first state, we call the state of the fixing the mind. Because when you cannot see that, but this is a very important that the two meditators to know that it's very important to meditate to know that the state. It's very important to know that when you're meditating, it's very important to know that you should not get distracted. You should not generate the excitement. This is very important. Here, the term, what I mean by excitement is a sort of the distraction, okay? Sort of the distraction. Term, what I'm using, the excitement, what I mean the excitement is that the distraction, okay? Very strong distraction. So, now the first state, okay, fixing the mind. Now the second state of the mental is we call the fixation with some continuity. Fixation with some continuity. Fixation with some continuity is the second mental state, second of the mental state. Now, it is that you have to know the one thing that how long you can focus, how long you can concentrate, how long, 1 minute or 2 minutes. When you can concentrate, when you can focus on your breath or any object without distraction, more than the 2 minutes, without distraction, more than the 2 minutes, then you have achieved the second mental state. We call the second mental state fixation with some continuity. So when you are meditating, you can focus any object or you can concentrate on your breath 2 minutes without distraction. But lots of people, they feel like they can meditate 10 minutes with concentrating on the breath. But sometimes your 10 minutes, there might be a lot of the distraction in this 10 minutes. You might, after meditating few seconds, you will get distracted. Then again, you will meditate, then you get distracted. But if you keep on going like this, that means that you have not reached at the second mental state. You have not reached the second mental state. If you can meditate on concentrating on your breath or any object without getting distraction, 2 minutes, without distraction, 2 minutes, you have achieved the second state. But if you can meditate like that one time, I will call you are the lucky meditator. At least you have to do the 10 times. At least you have to meditate for the 2 minutes like that 10 times. Then we can see that how many times you can meditate without distraction. For the 2 minutes, without getting distraction, how many times you can meditate. Most of the time, you can meditate the 2 minutes, 2 minutes of the meditation without the distraction. Then you can declare that you have achieved this, you have reached the second mental state, that the fixation with some continuity, we call that, okay? Second mental state. So they are the 9 mental states, okay? So you have to reach all the 9 days of the mental state. After that, then you can reach the shamatha state of the meditation. In that state, you can meditate hours and hours without any physical difficulty and mental difficulty. Plus, you can generate the immense of the bliss when you are meditating. Okay, so thank you so much. Today I will stop here. This is we're having the 20-minute sessions of the meditation. So today's the meditation session. I talk about the first two mental state. Then in the next Sunday I will keep the continue of the other mental state of the meditations. Okay, and later our next session, maybe if you have any questions, maybe in the next session I will leave for the question answer sessions. Thank you so much. Thank you, and today I will stop here. Thank you so much. Thank you.